It's alright.
Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Max on a Borderlands 3 video, and today we're going over the top 5 craziest and coolest weapons in the Redux mod. Now, I've played this mod for a little under 2 weeks now, and I've found so many crazy weapons that I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys do not know what the Redux mod showing on screen right now is a little infographic of a lot of the things it changes, but one of my favorite parts of the mods is all the new weapons and gear to acquire. So I'm going to highlight some of the coolest ones for you guys today. I hope you all enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. So coming in at the number 5 spot for the coolest weapon in Borderlands 3 Redux is the Opha Splitter. Now, this weapon drops exclusively from the Seer at the end of DLC 6, and it's a reference to the Watcher that was in the cutscene at the beginning of the pre-sequel. You see the Watcher kind of walk out, and Jack starts shooting bullets at it. The bullets drop to the ground, and it does its little naughty naughty tisk tisk, and it's got a question mark as its name. Now, the Opha Splitter is a direct reference to that, and when you shoot this thing, its bullets hit walls and then drop immediately to the ground, followed by an explosion. Now, these bullets will travel. They're pretty slow traveling, bounce against the ground, and then do a pretty big explosion. And then both of the firing modes are the little question marks in reference to this Watcher. Now, this weapon is really weird to use, but really powerful. So I found the best way to use it is actually just shoot it at enemies' feet, and it'll do this little like burrowing effect or bouncing effect and then kill enemies. I didn't mean to kill myself with it there. Let me see if I can get myself up and then show you guys what this thing does. Okay, we're all ready to go. Shoot this thing at someone's feet, create projectiles. I'm using Explosion with this, which is an amazing build because the splash radius of the thing is like kind of nutty. So basically, just run up and shoot it at someone's feet, and it'll just cause a huge explosion and kill a lot of people. Oh my goodness, that was some lag. But as you can see, that one little projectile on the right build turns into ridiculous, crazy explosions. It's got really high base damage, good splash radius, and it's a really cool reference. I think this weapon is really well done, and I put it at my number 5 spot for the coolest weapons in Redux. Coming in at the number 4 spot is the Head Spinner Sniper Rifle. Now, this sniper rifle reads, "Try not to let all of this power go to your head." It drops from the Caretaker in DLC 4, and as you can see, it has a ridiculous critical hit damage increase. And when you hit crits on enemies, it does ridiculous damage. However, this gun's got a little bit of something to help you. When you equip this weapon, when you're holding it in your hands, big head mode actually applies to all the enemies, and it applies instantly. So big head mode on, big head mode off, big head mode on, and when I start hitting enemies' heads, we're going to start doing tons of damage, which I think is so neat. Once again, this is the coolest weapons list. This isn't the strongest weapon that I've used, but it is super cool. I think it's super interesting that they were able to get a weapon that basically just turns on a modifier. I think that's a really cool way to use the modifier system in Redux. Modifiers are removed. There are no such things on any of the Mayhem levels, but taking advantage of them in a weapon and also giving it a crazy crit increase is really neat. And while not the strongest sniper rifle, it is pretty cool. It also comes with a shotgun mode, so you can fire that out and hit enemies' heads, but that big head mode is pretty cool and is going to help you land those shots. All right, coming in at our number 3 spot is the Bore Assault Rifle. Now, this thing drops from the Wendigo and is a pearlescent rarity item, and this thing is freaking awesome. Probably one of my favorites on this list. I know it's the coolest list, but this one might be one of my favorites. Now, it has 2 firing modes, a standard firing mode and a full auto mode. Now, the standard mode hits like a truck. It's a LMG. It's going to do basically big damage to these enemies. And that's not the only thing this does. It's going to stack up slide damage, which sounds really weird. So now every bullet that I shoot stacks up a ton of slide damage. Now, with all of my slide damage stacks, I can do some crazy things. Now, one of the coolest things is in Borderlands, there's a lot of pieces of gear that interact with slide damage. For example, the spark plug or the launch pad. These things actually benefit from slide damage. So this is just a purple level 64 spark plug. But when I slam this thing after stacking up a bunch of slide damage, it just does ridiculous damage because it is now getting boosted by the bore and increasing and my increased slide damage. Coming in at our number 2 spot is the Midnight Wisdom. Now, this is one of the hardest weapons in the game to acquire. Not the hardest. This thing only drops from Hemovorous and Vermivorous and fires 12 projectiles in one shot that look really cool. It's a pearlescent weapon. It reads, I love a good dismemberment. And when you shoot these projectiles, you can see they look freaking crazy. There's these like purple bullet shells, I guess, that leave a long trail and really strong. One of the stronger weapons that I've used. This thing on flak is absolutely disgusting. Let me change real quick to Gorillas in the Mist. We'll use Unblinking Eye. This weapon is locked to shock, or at least the versions that I've gotten have always been shock. So I think you can only get this thing in shock. But just shooting it against Graveward, let's see how we do. And that's pretty nice. Obviously not like the craziest damage if you're used to base game stuff, but this is Truva Hunter mode with a non-matching element, and yeah, that is very, very, very nice. So that is our number 2 spot, our Midnight Wisdom. Coming in at our number 1 spot for the coolest item in Redux is the Excessus Mortis. Now, this is a Jacob's pistol that is contraband rarity, which is indicated by the red rarity. There are only 3 red rarity items or contraband rarity items in the entire game, and this thing you can only get from Scourge as the final boss in the Guardian Takedown. It has like a 1% drop chance, so it is ridiculously hard to get this thing. I actually did 25 Guardian Takedown runs to try to get this. I did not get it. I actually had Epic, the creator of Redux, join my game to drop it for me because I wanted to show it off to you guys. It's a super cool Jacob's pistol. It does big AoE splash damage. You cannot harm yourself with this thing no matter what you're doing. It has no self-damage and is a pretty cool weapon. It's not the strongest thing, but it is really, really cool and super incredibly rare. Off of my yesterday's video talking about rarities in Borderlands 3, I saw some people that really want more rarities besides legendary, and I saw some people that didn't want new rarities. Personally, my opinion on it is I think like a different rarity doesn't need to be the strongest, best thing or have a brand new mechanic. Honestly, like, it's always nice if they do, but just to have some of those ultra rare things to go after in a game that you spend so much time hunting for ultra rare and good gear, things that are clearly labeled as rare and kind of more of like a collector's piece than like a must-have, must-use. If you want to do any content in the game, like, you have to have this item. But just these like cool collector's items to have. This thing is really cool, but it is not broken. It is not like incredibly busted, but it is incredibly rare and such a cool item to get. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. These were the top 5 coolest weapons in Redux, in my opinion. Not the most powerful, but definitely some of the coolest ones. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do check out this mod, I will have a link in the description so you can go download it. I will catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.